Good morning. Welcome to the morning forecast discussion for Wednesday, October 26, 2011. Of course, I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. Start out this morning with clouds increasing throughout the New York City and Philadelphia metropolitan areas, with temperatures rising through the lower to mid 40s for most locations, reaching the lower 50s over portions of southern New Jersey as a warm front approaches the northern mid-Atlantic. And you can see scattered showers are already developing over the central Hudson River Valley back through western New York and northwestern Pennsylvania, and then that extends into the Ohio River Valley. Now you can see on the surface map this morning we have an area of low pressure that is approaching the Ohio River Valley, and we have a warm front situated over central Pennsylvania down towards the Philadelphia metro and then over southern New Jersey. That's why temperatures are warming up nicely over portions of southern New Jersey. This low pressure system will track to the east and eventually move through the Philadelphia metropolitan area and out to the south of Long Island by tomorrow afternoon. And this low pressure system, as it intensifies, will produce moderate to heavy rainfall over the northern mid-Atlantic. This is the first part of two storms that will impact the region through this weekend. You can see on the radar, you can see this rainfall approaching the northern mid-Atlantic. Now what's going to happen is that this rainfall is going to drop southeast and settle over the northern mid-Atlantic this evening on through tomorrow as that low pressure system tracks basically over southern Pennsylvania. Basically follow this right here, this little plus sign. It'll track this way, and then it'll cut through the Philadelphia metropolitan area, head out through central New Jersey, south of Long Island, and then out into the Atlantic. And that low pressure system track will produce moderate to heavy rainfall, especially this evening on through tomorrow. For portions of northeastern Pennsylvania, northwestern New Jersey, and the Hudson River Valley, locations above 1,000 feet will have the potential for some snow mixing in, but I really don't expect much in the way of accumulation. Pretty much it'll look nice, get the kids excited, but nothing really major as far as any snowfall accumulation. I just want to show the water vapor satellite picture here. See a strong upper level low moving to the northeast towards the Canadian Maritimes, and the reason why that's important is because this upper level low basically slows down the entire weather pattern and forces these disturbances here and here to track more towards the mid-Atlantic than, let's say, the St. Lawrence River Valley. So instead of these disturbances cutting up like this, they are forced to cut up this way. Okay? They're forced to move south and then northeast towards the northern mid-Atlantic or towards the northern mid-Atlantic coast. And it's all because this upper level low is forcing the suppression of the storm track. This is what happens when you start developing a negative NAO pattern. Get used to it. So let's take a look at the model guidance. We got the European model guidance here. And again, you could see by this evening, here's our upper level low, forcing the entire pattern further to the south. We have our warm front. This isn't the strongest storm whatsoever, but it is strong enough to produce scattered showers through this afternoon and then periods of steady, moderate to heavy rain this evening on through tomorrow morning. Moving forward, that low pressure system starts to exit on Thursday evening. Again, periods of moderate to heavy rain, especially throughout the day tomorrow, and a little bit of snow mixing in at times over northeastern Pennsylvania, northwestern New Jersey, and the Hudson River Valley above 1,000 feet. Again, I don't really expect much in the way of accumulation here, but it is something to keep an eye on. A higher elevation snowfall can be a real pain to forecast for, and sometimes it could throw a little bit of a wild card in there and you get a little bit of accumulation. I don't expect that, but just keep that in mind, especially if you're above 1,000 feet. Moving on to Friday, high pressure will be in control. This is a little bit of a break between the first two storms. You can see moisture is starting to pool over the southeast, and you can see a thermal gradient starting to develop. That means that this stationary front, which is right around here, is going to start to spawn a low pressure system. You can see the disturbance because, again, this upper level low is forcing the pattern and the storm track to the south it's forcing this disturbance towards the Tennessee River Valley. And as a result, as we move in towards Saturday evening, that disturbance dives and then moves towards the mid-Atlantic coast. Voila, low pressure system. Now, this pattern is rather progressive, and that means that these disturbances aren't able to stick around and intensify off the New Jersey coast. They develop, they blow up, and exit. So as a result, I'm expecting the best potential for rainfall along the immediate coast. Okay, the further west you go, let's say over eastern Pennsylvania, more likely you'll have more scattered precipitation and rather weak precipitation. I don't expect this to be a major storm right now, especially as significant as what the European model guidance was showing earlier on this week. And that's why I really didn't push the advertisement, because this pattern, although stormy, is rather progressive. And as such, you're more likely to end up with a storm a little bit further out in the Atlantic than you would, say, a storm hugging the coast with heavy snowfall over the interior. So basically what I'm trying to say is that the more active this polar jet stream is, the more you have to have the wavelengths of these patterns just right. And in this case, it looks like it'll be a little bit too fast, and this storm will be a little bit further out to sea. Still potential for moderate to heavy rainfall along the immediate coast for the New York City and Philadelphia metropolitan area, but clearly not as significant of a higher elevation interior snowfall threat as what was seen on some of the models earlier on this week. But that storm leaves, high pressure will be in control for the rest of the time period from Sunday on through Monday and Tuesday. But then once again, we have another strong disturbance, and with that, we have another area low pressure. And this storm is going to create some very stormy weather conditions for the middle and end of next week. Look at the pressure gradient here. That's going to set up some windy conditions for Wednesday morning by the time as this low pressure system intensifies. So late Tuesday night into Wednesday morning could be rather windy and potentially rather rainy as well. Something to keep an eye on as we see this storm develop. As you can see, this entire weather pattern is very active, but the important thing is that it's rather progressive. If this trough backs off just a little bit more to the west towards the Aleutian Islands, this could become a very interesting weather pattern for the winter. That's your forecast discussion for October 26, 2011. Of course, you can always follow NYNJPA Weather at nynjpaweather.com and NYNJPA Weather on Twitter and Facebook. I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. Have a great day.